Alpha 3 is back. Here I'm going to address this big penis called Officer Thomas Smith from the Bayside Farm, if that's actually where he's from. He had made this stupid ass comment from a video of mine from like 2 years ago, and I've tried to explain it's one of the more frustrating things about just putting videos out is you'll have like a clown or a penis like this guy Officer Thomas Smith from Bayside, the Bayside Farm, make a dumbass comment from a video you made like 2 years ago, as if it applies to current events, as applies to now. Like I know why somebody would want to be a correctional officer to try to get paid $120K a year. I get that. Maybe you don't have many skills and there's not anything else that you can really do, and you don't have a degree, and you have a financial situation where you need to get paid to support your family. I get all that. But when you're like most officers who have a brain and can do other things, right? There's other things you can do to make $127K. This isn't just the Department of Corrections. All right? And when the video was made, it was made 2 years ago when officers were getting like $75,000, $80,000 a year. They weren't getting 127. It wasn't until after my videos started coming out and I started exposing the department and everybody started leaving that they had to do something about it. There was a time when the department was so tight ass that they wanted people to have a degree to join that fucking place. For what? So I'm not dumb, all right? The other thing is, my videos, again, aren't meant to be taken too seriously. They're shenanigans. And it's a funny thing, I gotta keep repeating that over and over again because people keep coming over here, coming on my comment section, leaving serious comments. All right, you dumb fucking penis from fucking Bayside Farm. So to give you an idea of what it's like to work on a farm like Jones Farm in Trenton, it's like there's nothing going on there, right? They're inmates that have like very little time left. They're the ones you see on the highway that don't really want any problems. All right, we're not talking about that type of post. On my posts, when I talk about actually violent crimes and criminals and people that you have to be aware of, that you're fighting all the time, they're the ones locked up in New Jersey State Prison. They're not working on a farm. All right? So when you talk about two different posts, you're talking about, again, the house slave and the field slave. The house slave, like the penis Officer Jonathan Smith from Bayside Farm, if that's where he's actually from, can't tell the field slave that does all the hard work how to feel, right? So stop watching old videos from 2 years ago and leaving serious comments. But then he tells me that, then he says he's at the Bayside Farm at down there, like as if I'm gonna drive, like as if I'm gonna waste a 3 hour drive, round trip drive to go down there to confront him, like he's a tough guy, right? So a penis, and I use this because I don't walk around acting like my videos, so don't get it confused. I typically don't even talk to anybody in real life. I do that because those cunts downtown try to make a big deal about my character, Alpha 3. It's a character. It's a shtick, if you don't know what a shtick is. But they try to make a big deal about my shtick, and they try to do all this stupid bullshit to try to charge me, get me suspended. So, like, these people don't like the term cornhole. So if you don't like the term cornhole, I use cunt a lot because I know they watch my videos. So I use the term cunt because I know it irritates them. So anyway, you penis, Jonathan Smith from Bayside Farm, I'm not going to waste my time driving 3 hours down there to confront you. All right? I can touch you right from this video. So we're going to play penis games. Now, there's different ways to play the penis game. All right, number one, back when I got in 2009. Now I had already been in the department for years, but I got transferred to New Jersey State Prison because Riverfront shut down, right? And the only reason why I was at Riverfront was because it was a 5-minute drive from my house. But anyway, I got to New Jersey State Prison, and there was penises drawn everywhere, clipboards, because that's what we do. You have to understand, yes, it's very juvenile, I get that, but when you're in a toxic environment and the Department of Corrections, all they want you to do is, like, at least at New Jersey State Prison, all they want you to do is fight inmates and give them baby bottles and stare at the wall all day, and you can't have any fun, and there's no way to release any stress, and they don't do anything for you. They don't barely reward you. They like reward one cop a year, right? And the tension builds up, so you have to do things to release that type of negative, stressful energy. So what we do is childish games like draw penises all over the wall, right? So when I got there was penises everywhere. I told a story about how a really good sergeant, he's an awesome sergeant, Antonello, he was a sergeant at the time, he was escorting that cunt, Administrator Barnes and all the stupid shits from downtown in the North Compound at New Jersey State Prison, right? So he was escorting them around, and they went on the elevator, and when the elevator door closed, there was a huge penis that stretched across the elevator door. Right now, everybody knows that story, and everybody at the wall right now. So when I say the wall, that means New Jersey State Prison. So everybody at the wall is cracking up right now because a lot of them remember that story. But a huge, and then they all got embarrassed, and Administrator Barnes, instead of just kind of laughing it off, because there's really no way to stop it. There isn't, right? But they act like they can. The only way to really stop it is to distract the officers and give them constructive things, or give them ways to release their energy in other ways to stop doing stuff like that. But you can't stop it. But then even the inmates will start doing it. So it's not even the officers, it's the inmates as well. So you're not going to stop inmates from drawing penises everywhere. They just assume that it's officers. So I just remember at lineup, they came out with this dumbass memo about stop drawing penises, because they just assume it's the officers. Stop drawing penises all over the walls. I'm like, okay. So I asked the question, well, then it's okay to draw vaginas all over the walls, right? So then that was just a funny little joke, right? Anyway, that's one way to do the penis joke, or the penis game. The other thing was when I opened up, and I was the one that opened up Mid-State. I was one of the few people that actually took charge and made sense to help open up Mid-State when it was a fucking disaster. I was the sergeant in charge at the time. So anyway, so it was just a clusterfuck of all these officers all over the state that opened up Mid-State, right? Well, the only real savages that were in there were the ones from the wall, right? So we were there for like 3 days. I told this story already. Is that I gathered up, because all the other prison officers, all the other officers from all the other prisons, they were trying to be professional. I'm like, this is a fucking joke. This place is a joke. So I'm going to treat it like a fucking joke. I'm going to treat it like a circus. Right, so I gathered up all the New Jersey State Prison, all the wall officers, and I pulled them aside, right? And I cursed them all out, right? They thought they were in trouble. I was like, cursed them all out. I'm like, disappointed in you guys. You guys are a bunch of fucking scumbags. We've been here for like 3 days, right? Because at Mid-State, if you don't know, there's schools. It's like a school for fucking crackheads that doesn't work. It's another program that doesn't work, right? So what they do is, and the other thing that they do is they downgrade statuses of inmates, like real killers from the wall that are maximum security inmates. They downgrade them to medium security inmates, and they stick them over there in a medium security facility. It's such a joke, right? They stick them over there just so they can have this type of program, instead of just making the program at the wall to service the maximum security inmates. But anyway, it's a complete joke. So anyway, I cursed them all out. It was like 20 officers. I was like, curse them all out. You guys are a bunch of fucking turds. Disappointed in you. You're not upholding the standards of New Jersey State Prison officers because I don't see one fucking penis anywhere in this fucking place, and we've been here for like 3 days. So magically, after that, penises start popping up all over the prison. It was hilarious. They had to come out with memos just like they did at the wall. Now, I didn't give them a direct order to do it. I just told them I was disappointed, right? So penises started popping up all over Mid-State. They were in the fucking bathroom. Like, it was hilarious. So they had to come out with a memo there. And then it got so bad that they had to start writing specials that there were no penises on the walls. At the end of the shift, they had to turn in specials saying, "There's no penises in my area at this time," right? So, because they were trying to catch the penis bandit. That's what we called them, the penis bandit. So anyway, the place was a shit show. I did what I had to do to make it run as smoothly as possible, which was actually pretty good. And I left there because I was like, I'm tired of this fucking place. Put me in a real prison with real criminals where I can make a real difference, which you just can't. Like, if you go into any prison thinking you're going to make a difference, you're not. So anyway, so they sent me back to the wall. I was still getting emails like a couple months later. I was still getting emails saying to stop drawing penises all over the wall. So that was pretty funny. The other way this penis game works is you call up officers on their post, right? During the shift, during the 8-hour shift, and when they answer it, you go, "Penis! Penis!" and you slam you hang up on them, you slam on them, right? And then when they hang up, like 10 minutes later, you'll call back and you go, "Penis, you're a penis," and hang up on them. Right now, it may not sound funny, but it's absolutely hilarious because, like, you normally target the weaker officers that can't take a joke. And you'll find these people out, they get frustrated and get mad about it, right? And they start complaining. So then you just keep doing it, right? So you just keep doing it. You keep calling them up throughout the shift. Inevitably, they'll start complaining about it. And then you can all gang up on them. You could do it like on 30-minute, 15-minute intervals, right? Everybody can do it in the prison, right? So quick funny story. There was a guy called Mandera, right? Mandera was one of those hotheads that couldn't take a joke, and everybody knew it, right? So there was this one dude in particular, I forgot what his name was, but he used to always fuck with Mandera, right? He used to call him up doing that, going, "Penis, you're a penis," right? So Mandera used to always complain to the area sergeant, threatening this guy that he was going to kill him. He never did anything because he really didn't have a proof to do anything about it. There's nothing you can do about it, right? So why get mad, right? So Mandera, every time I was partners with Mandera, I was like, "Wait, why does this dude fuck with you all the time?" It's like, I would get him all hyped up. I would act serious. I'd be like, "Yo, why do you let this dude fuck with you," right? So I'd be like, and just to get his fucking, because I knew inevitably the phone calls were going to start showing up. So I would get him all hyped up. And he'd start talking about how he was going to fucking destroy this dude, right? So then the phone calls would come up and he'd be like, Rod, don't answer it. And if I did answer it, they'd be like, put Mandera on the phone and tell him it's the lieutenant or the sergeant. And I'd be like, all right, okay, because I knew what was going on. You play along with it, right? They're like, all right, hold on. Hey, Mandera, you got a phone call. It's the LT. So then all of a sudden, Mandera would slam the phone, be like, "That motherfucker, I'm going to kill that motherfucker," right? So anyway, that's the other way you play the penis game. Now, inevitably, after a while, they're not going to answer the phone. So you got to get cool supervisors or cool people that's going to play along with this game, right? So you'll have like the radio be like penis head officer what's his name, Thomas Smith from Bayside Farm, pick up the phone. It's the lieutenant, right? So because after a while, this penis Thomas Smith's not going to pick up the phone, right? So he'll have to pick up the phone because he'll think it's the lieutenant, or the partner will be like, "Oh, it's the lieutenant," and then he'll have to, and then you say, "Alpha 3 says you're a penis," and hang up on him. So that's what you do. So that's the penis game. So I invite everybody. Now, if Thomas Smith doesn't work at the farm, if Thomas Smith doesn't work at the Bayside farm, then we're just going to have to team up on all the Thomas Smiths in the department. All right? So even the innocent Thomas Smiths, like I knew there was another Thomas Smith. He was a real shitbag at New Jersey State Prison. And there's a story about him too, because he was like a first shift officer, but he was a coward, right? He was cowardly. They pointed him out to me real quick when I got there. They're like, don't fuck with this guy. He's scared of inmates, or whatever. So just stay away from him, or be cautious if he has to be your partner, right? So then I was in the West compound. I was just an officer at the time, but Sergeant Antonello, our Sergeant Antonello was the Area 4 sergeant. Now we have this rule at New Jersey State Prison that if there's a team out doing an extraction, nobody's allowed to leave to their back, because then we help them take the equipment off, we clean it real quick, put all the shit away for them so they can go do their paperwork, right? It's like on second shift when it's like 9:45, nobody's leaving until the team get back, or until 10 o'clock, because he can't hold you after 10, right? Well, this penis, Thomas Smith from New Jersey State Prison, so he was working overtime. Now, if you work overtime, you can't work more than 16 hours, right? So what I tried to do when I was a sergeant is if I knew you worked first shift and you drove, especially if you had a long 30-minute, 40-minute, like an hour drive, because that's what the department does. They fuck you over, right? You'll work 16 hours, but they don't let you leave till like 10 o'clock or they don't want you to leave till like 10 o'clock on the dot, right? Which puts a officer in a bad position, because now they got to drive an hour home. They got to drive an hour to get back. They only give them 6 hours of sleep. And then they got to wash their ass. If they're a clean person, they'll wash their ass. So they only get like 5 hours of sleep. They have to work again. So I try to let these guys go early, right? But there's some penis sergeants that fucking will not let them go. But Antonello was a cool fucking sergeant. He would let you go if he needed to let you, if he could let you go. But we did have a rule: nobody leaves until the extraction team gets back. So anyway, it was like 9:30 to 9:45, and there was an extraction team out, and this fucking penis, Thomas Smith, was working overtime from first shift. Now, there's two ways overtime works. If you get stuck, then it's just, you get stuck, you're beat, right? But we try to let you go because we understand you didn't want to work, right? But if you volunteer, fuck you, right? Like we try to still let you go, but fuck you, you volunteer. Right, so it was like 9:30, and the team hadn't gotten back yet, and this penis Thomas Smith from New Jersey State Prison was walking around like all whiny. If you can imagine a grown man acting all whiny and shit, and fucking Antonello was looking at him like, Smith, what the fuck is your problem? He's like, he starts getting all whiny. He's like, I want to go home, right? Like a grown man doing that, right? So Antonello had to curse his ass out. He's like, there's a fucking extraction team out, you fucking piece of shit. Go fucking sit down, you big fucking penis Smith. Sit down and stop fucking whining and complaining, you selfish bastard. So Antonello had to check this dude. Now, I don't know if they're relatives. I don't know if that penis Thomas Smith is the same penis Thomas Smith is down in fucking at Bayside Farm. But they definitely have the bloodline. Anyway, so this penis Thomas Smith, I would say, and there was a point to this whole thing, but I forgot what it was. I got off track because this video is fucking long. But you could play this fucking game with that penis Thomas Smith down in Bayside, fucking Bayside Farm, and let me know how it turns out, because that's pretty funny. Because I guess he thought I was gonna drive down there to confront him personally. I don't have time to waste on a jackass that doesn't understand my fucking videos, right? But anyway, to everybody else that knows me and loves me, stay safe in there. All right, if you got a loved one in there, give them my best. I support you guys. I'm with the officers. Don't get this wrong. I am with the officers. I'm with the sergeants, lieutenants, majors, and stuff like that. But every now and again, there's a fucking cunt or a little penis that rears his dumbass head that doesn't understand what's going on. That's why I tell you, watch a bunch of my videos. All right, and watch the ones that are updated, and then go back and watch it, so you don't stick your thumb up your ass and make yourself look like an idiot, and then I don't have to send out a whole crew of officers to do penis jokes on one jackass. Anyway. But everybody, all my boys out in New Jersey State Prison, stay safe over there. I'm a ball buster, but I am a peaceful, loving guy, but I just don't take shit from anybody. And I encourage people to walk around and not take shit from anybody. But have fun with that. Let me know how it turns out. All right. If somebody actually does do that, now I'm not telling you to do it. This is not a direct order. I'm just saying it'll be fun when you start doing it, right? But if anybody starts doing this, let me know in the comment section, and hide your name, because you know SID's watching and they're going to hunt you down and try to prosecute you, try to spread your butt cheeks and investigate the inside of your sphincter. But anyway, I'm at the gym. Alpha 3 is out. Send it.